Welcome to the Successful Real Estate Broker Podcast, where we learn about some success stories and some not so successful stories. But either way, we learn. Each episode, we talk with successful real estate agents and vendors about things they have done to make them successful and some things they did that you might want to avoid. Join us for each episode of the Successful Real Estate Broker Podcast with your host, Preston Sandlin.
All right, listeners, I have a special treat for you here this afternoon or evening or morning, whenever you happen to be listening to this podcast. I have a buddy of mine, guy that I like a lot, Mr. Brock Zevan. Of course, I've said that forever, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your last name right. Is that correct?
It is. Zevan is I've been called many different things, but yeah, Zevan's the main one.
Okay.
So
cool,
yeah,
cool.
and Van, easiest way to do it.
Awesome. Well, Brock, I know a bunch of our listeners, primarily real estate agents, know who you are, but there's some listeners who don't know or are listening to this for the first time. So give us a little background. We want to get to know you personally, a little bit of your personal life, how you got to here. And, you know, I know you're originally from New York. You're a Jets fan, right?
I am.
Oh, wow. You and Gary V. You and Gary V. So give us a little backstory on you.
So I'm originally from upstate New York. Lived up there for about 20 years. Got tired of the snow. Kind of moved around for a little bit after college. Went to school to be a school teacher, a PE coach, and weight trainer. So then I moved to stayed in Hoboken, New Jersey for a little bit, then Clearwater, Florida for a little bit with a buddy of mine, and then ended up planting here in Huntersville. Gosh, almost 20 years ago. Since then, I have close to about 57 family members who have moved down here from the New England area. And we're kind of all spread apart from South Carolina to Statesville up there. But yeah, I started my journey as a PE coach in right here in Huntersville. Was over at Bradley Middle School, then Hopewell High School, then 8 years at West Met, where I did weight training, PE, and coached baseball and football. And that's kind of where my passion really stems from, is coaching and becoming that educator. Was an assistant principal for about a year for the 9th grade. And then just kind of felt like I was spinning my wheels where there was more out there, and I was kind of felt like a ceiling. So real estate kind of came into play. Balanced both teaching and real estate at the same time. Did that. I've been in real estate now for almost 12 years. And kind of started making more money doing real estate part-time as a full-time teacher, and took that step to leave teaching, that security, and started my own thing. Started with a small company, Lake and Town Realty, and then developed my own company, Compass Real Estate Group. Then went to Keller Williams, and then now here landed at EXP. And throughout that whole time period, team and coaching has been my main thing of what I do. So I've been very fortunate to have that opportunity, been able to coach and teach a lot of successful agents. And the best compliment I get is when they decide they're ready to take on the next step and do their own thing, and they grow. And it's always a good problem when they're making more money or have an opportunity to see the next stage for them. So it's pretty cool being able to be a part of that. So now, just, family guy, got 2 kids. My little one, Brielle, is almost going to be 8, and Bryce is going to be 2 years old. And just recently moved, and now basically all my roots here in Lake Norman. And so very, very fortunate. And it's a Sunday right now, and I'm working. So that's the real estate life, what we got going on. So.
Oh yeah. It's like that meme. There is no weekend in real estate.
Yeah, one of our agents, actually, Mike Casper, just popped in too, and he's like, I got an offer I got to put in. So, we're working still. As you know, there is no days off, unfortunately. But we also have that flexibility, and that's what allows us that.
Yeah, absolutely. I do home inspections, which is related to and it's the same thing. I mean, we're working all the time, but at the same time, you know, if my kids have a awards thing in the middle of the day back when they were in school, you know, I can make that happen. I might be working at 7 or 8 that night, but
Yep.
I can make
work.
that.
We fit it. We fit it in.
Awesome. Well, for all the listeners, Brock and I have this in common. We're both former teachers. I taught in Charlotte in CMS. I was certified K-6, and I taught what did I teach? I student taught first grade, and I taught 5th and 3rd grade.
Wow. Yeah.
You just can't make any money in teaching. And, you know, I think for the most part, teachers do pretty well in the real estate industry because it's like really good training for, you know, all the stuff you have to juggle and, you know, being able to present things. It's crazy. My wife was a school teacher too, Brock. And, but she's very introverted, and you know how we have to go give presentations and stuff.
Yeah.
My wife will not give a presentation to save her. She's like terrified. And I'm like, you used to get up in front of all those first graders. To me, that's more terrifying than.
Yeah.
But anyway,
you're absolutely right. Teachers, educators itself, I gotta believe too. I don't know what's going to take shape because of the coronavirus and all the school home teaching, but I think parents are going to understand a little bit more and really appreciate teachers. I think even at another higher level, I know they're appreciated, but I still think now at this, because it's hard to freaking do this homeschooling, what they got going on and trying to learn their new skills and trying to do Zoom and everything else. And I think we're going to see a difference moving forward in some capacity with education as well as appreciation for teachers, because the patience that they have. I mean, we're dealing with one child, 2 children, and they're dealing with like 25, 30.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, you know, so it's a different world. And I agree with you. Most of the successful people that I see come from an education aspect and the coaching aspect, because that's really what we're doing is we're either coaching or training our employees, our team, or we're doing that to our clients. So that way they can make the best educated decision. And I hats off to you and your teaching, and it shows because you do take the time. I mean, all the stuff you're teaching us now on, you know, how to do your Zoom background, and you taught me how to do that, and all these different things that are just tools for us to be able to make our life a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks, Brock. Well, let me back up on something else you said. You got a lot of family members here. I was thinking, are you cousins or something with Pettit, Rob and Bob Pettit? Are they your cousins? And something else I figured out, they're big Patriots fans. And if they're your cousins and you're Jets fans, how's that Thanksgiving dinner?
Yeah. So it always was interesting. Obviously now it's pretty entertaining seeing Tom Brady leave. And
they're the Tampa Bay Patriots now.
Yeah, exactly. And Gronkowski joining them up and doing it. I'm waiting for Edelman to go down there as well. But yeah, it was always entertaining. Rob and I, we went to the Spygate game. We were actually in New York, and him and I got to go see that game. But yeah, our whole family. I mean, Brian Saldarini is my brother-in-law. He works in our office. And he's also a real estate agent, and he's a Patriots fan. My sister, Lena, she's a real estate agent. So there's a lot of real estate agents in our family, as well as a lot of Patriot fans in our family. So it makes it pretty entertaining at least 2 times a year, where it's been actually, and every once in a while we get 3 because we made it to the playoffs, but we haven't seen that in a very, very long time. So it'll be interesting to see what takes place this year with football.
Yeah, I hope they get to play. But, you know, on another note, I started to say all the people who hate the Patriots, they're in one sense they're probably liking it, but, you know, I don't know, man. You still got Belichick and you got Kraft. I mean, they'll come up with something.
I've always liked them. I mean, I base my coaching literally around their philosophy. I mean, it's basically do your job. Right. And just perfect your job. Just don't worry about any, like a defensive lineman. Like their job is only to go after the quarterback or protect their zone or stop the run or whatever it might be.
What your gap is.
Real estate, it's the same thing. It's like your job only is this. Don't worry about anybody else. Just focus on this and then take it one step at a time. And but they have that philosophy of like, you know, something bad happens, fight through the adversity, make it work, and you move on. And that's one of the greatest things that, you know, love or hate the Patriots. It's just they find ways to win, and they do it with all different people, and they don't come up with excuses.
No, I mean,
That's what I really like about their mindset of how they do things.
absolutely. I hate them, but I respect them, and it's the same thing. It's like I hate them because they're not my team, but I respect what they've done, and and being a Carolina fan, it's sort of like that with Duke too. I hate those guys, but man, you respect the job that Krzyzewski's done, as much as it pains me to say that. But you're exactly right. Professionalism and coaching, and just staying consistent. And speaking of that. That's one of the next questions. Coaching in real estate. A lot of people go to real estate school. Even my daughter and her friend are thinking about doing it while they're home from college. They finished the year and they're thinking about taking. I mean, there's getting your real estate license, going, getting it, and hats off to that. That is an accomplishment. There's a lot of math and whatnot, but just getting your real estate license and then being successful in this business. That one doesn't necessarily equate the other. In fact, just getting the license is the very, very beginning, and some people make it to that but don't make it to the other. So coaching, how do you feel about coaching? Have you had coaching yourself? And I know you can tell us, I think you do coaching just from beginning to end. How do you feel about coaching?
So coaching to me, and I'm going to go back to football coaching, and I'm going to even use Tom Brady as a puzzle piece or a main piece of this. Like, I think we could say arguably he's one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. If you break down Tom Brady, though, he has an offensive coordinator coach, he has a position coach, he has a weight training coach, and he has a head coach. I'm sure he's got nutrition coaches and everything else.
Right.
Coaching is such a valuable thing that you need it no matter how good you are. And the biggest problem that I always see with things is ego gets in the way. Is a lot of people feel like, well, I don't need to be coached because I'm really good at this, or I have this. And like, no, I mean, the more successful you become, the more coaches you should have to specifically keep you accountable, disciplined, help train you. Like a lot of our role plays that we do now that I coach, it's like, okay, at first it was scripts. Now it becomes the next level of tonality. Then it becomes to multitask tonality with, trying to tie downs and try to figure out ways to be able. Then it comes down to critiquing it. Of, all right, you're on the phone 30 seconds too long. You got to narrow that down, because if you take that 30 seconds to add that 10 times, now you've been on the phone, way too long, and you're missing out on business. And you really start to fine tuning things, just like in coaching, and just like in football. So coaching to me has been a huge thing. I've been with Mike Ferry up in Vegas a couple times. I've been up in Maryland. Jeff Glover's been one of my main coaches. I've been up to Michigan a couple times. We've been Kate, who's part of his team. We use the core training over here that's right off of Catawba. I've worked with Rick Ruby and his team. I've done coaching with Tom Ferry. I mean, I pretty much am doing coaching nonstop, because I've learned several years ago that Brock does not know everything, and Brock's not trying to pretend that he's God's gift to the real estate world. And so once I let my ego go and say, you know what, I don't know everything, and why not learn and keep myself accountable? So I've taken that piece, I kind of apply it to my own team and to my own coaching that I do. I'm very fortunate to have some good quality people that I coach and train. I got some people in Florida that I'm working with, just people within our team. Some of our people on our team have grown from 0 to 2 units to making $250,000, and it's because of our coaching and what we do. More importantly, the accountability piece, because I use the terminology a lot, or use the analogy, I should say, like going to the gym. I always tell people, if I say, all right, I want you haven't been to the gym, or maybe you've been there once or twice. We use that in the real estate terms of like, if you go into the gym and by the time you were to work 45 minutes, if you don't know the equipment, you're not too sure what reps to do, you're not too sure how many sets to do, you don't know what machines to use, but you're there. Like, you're there in the gym, like, yeah, I'm getting my workout. But if you're not purposeful and you don't know what the hell you're doing for those 45 minutes, and if I compare it to if a trainer was waiting for you at the door and said, Brock, it's 6 o'clock, you ready to start your workout, and boom, He's taking me to the treadmill. He's telling me how long I have to run, how far I have to run, what exactly workouts, what sets, what reps, what I'm doing. And he's pushing me through the entire thing. Who do you think is going to have a better workout? The guy number 1 or the guy number 2 who had the trainer?
2.
It's the same concept in the real estate world. And it, yes, it costs money, but you know what? I guarantee you your results are far faster and greater in that time period than it is you trying to do it on your own. And I don't know why people try to do it the other way, but they do, and they just think like, well, I do know why. It's their ego, and they're like, I can do it. I'm like, I gave up on that, and I focus on other things that prepare myself and the team. So that's to me where coaching is really taking shape, and why I coach and why I train, and why I feel our team has become the way they are, and individual agents have grown to where they are. And I don't do anything different than other people. It's just the consistency of doing it. I'm sure you've heard of the compound effect.
Oh yeah, Darren Hardy.
Yeah. One of the books that I just finished reading, I recommend. It's called The Slight Edge.
Oh.
It talks about what 5% of people do in society and what makes them different. And it basically is the compound effect of doing things that other people don't want to do.
Well, speaking of that, that's a good transition into my next question there, Brock. I sponsor a bunch of classes. I sponsor, new agents, people just getting their MLS key, all that stuff. And I always look out there, I've been doing this about 20 some years, and I see, 5 years later, 10 years later, I mean, I hate to say this, but I can look at a group, and I can't say who they're going to be, but out of a group of 100, there's going to be 5 that are probably going to do really, it's almost like a bell curve, right?
Yeah.
That are going to be successful. A lot are going to wash out. I mean, real estate's tough.
It is.
I guess my question is the ones who are successful in real estate, and let me preface this. I know some people are like, yeah, they're successful, but they're on their 5th wife or something. I'm not,
Right.
I'm not, we're just talking about real estate. I'm not talking about, and balance is a big part of it, but what is it? A lot of success. You're successful. You have a lot of people who are successful. You've been around a lot of successful. Is there a common ingredient that obviously, and that's part of why I'm doing this podcast. I'm interviewing successful people, and that's my goal, is to find some common ingredient, and not everybody's going to do it the same. I mean, you mentioned Tom Brady, I love Joe Montana, and actually they're a lot the same person actually, but there's different ways, there's different ways of doing things, but there's some commonality. What do you see a common thread in people who are successful, and maybe something the people that wash out that they don't have, or I don't know. Right. I don't want to be harsh or mean, but
so the biggest thing is really just it's the discipline behind the scenes. It really is a huge thing. Sorry, I was listening to Mike over here. The biggest thing is really just the discipline. I mean, it is hard to go through life. I mean, not to bring it past, but I'm actually getting ready to write a little bit of my story of what's happened to me the last 4 years. And it's pretty much public knowledge about what took place with me in 2019, where I lost my license and I wasn't able to be in production. And it was very challenging to be able to say, okay, I'm going to go back, or the easy answer is I'm going to just go back to being a teacher. I'm going to work in Harris Teeter. And I had many people say, well, what are you going to do now, Brock? And I just said, well, I'm going to have to work twice as hard as I've ever done before in order to make it happen. And I'm going to have to coach harder than I've ever done. So the key ingredients across the board is you got to do things. And what successful people do is they do it day in and day out, and they grind. And there is no special sauce. There is no special recipe. There is nothing that any of us do differently, except we get up, we show up, and we put up, and we do whatever it takes to get the job done. And that's really what it comes down to. A lot of people always ask me, like, what is it? Like, Brock, tell me what to do. And I'm like, okay, you got to show up every single day. Whether you, I mean, there was a lot of different places. Like, a lot of people didn't like me, like, how could he be doing this? What is he doing? And I was able to get my license in South Carolina and find out, I had reciprocity over there. So I was able to get my MLS. Like, I just didn't accept no as an answer. I just find different ways to be able to do it. Brielle, my daughter, says to me, I said, I said, oh, she asked me if we can get ice cream. And I said, well, maybe. And she goes, Dad, she goes, maybe means yes to you. And I said, you're right. It does mean yes. Because I always say to
You
her,
mean there's a chance?
yeah,
That's like
yeah.
Dumb and
Oh,
Dumber.
shit. No means maybe, and maybe means yes.
There's a
And
99.9% chance I won't go out with you. So you're
yeah,
saying there's a chance.
but that's really the bait. I mean, I wish there was something. I mean, I listen to Les Brown. I listen to Eric Thomas. I listen to Jim Rohn. I listen to Jacko. I listen to all these people who gone through, and every single person that is successful has a story of some sort of, and I'm sure you do too, of like something that happened in your life that has caused you to do something to reach the bottom of the barrel and keep fighting and keep doing what you know what you have to do. And you got to do it every single day. You know, I never found it ever crowded at the parking lot on, you know, working, getting in the office at 6 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock in the morning. I never found any parking problems on Saturdays and Sundays. But I guarantee you, if you kind of looked at those people who were there during those time periods, they're in the top 5%, or they're trying to be in that top 5%.
Come in early, leave late, work hard. What's that? Two quotes from what you said come to mind. The guy's name Bader or something like that, but he says, let's see, success is not owned. It's only rented, and the rent's due every day.
Yeah.
And the other quote, which reminds me of what you were saying, is I forget, somebody, he was asked that, what is it that success, the same question I asked you, and you answered the same answer. He said, they do what needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not.
Yep.
That's, you know, the difference between an amateur and a pro. A pro does it whether they feel like it or not. They do.
They had, I've been really focusing on this one quote, and I wrote it down here to make sure that I said it. And since we're talking about quotes, especially with the coronavirus, and I've been dealing with a lot of objections and dealing with a lot of challenges that a lot of people are facing. And the quote that I always tell people when I start with it says, the events of our lives do not control us. Our decisions do. And every day we have a decision whether or not we're going to strive for more business, if we're going to talk to more people, if we're going to make more dials, reach out to a sphere of influence, educate people on what they can or can't show, do what they can do, or we're just going to use the coronavirus as an excuse. And they say, well, I can't do anything right now. Like, I can't leave my house. I can't do this. I'm not going to do anything. I always find it fascinating as well when you read your Facebook posts and they say, I don't know which meeting I'm going to go to first, AA or Waste Watchers. And I kind of chuckle, just like you did. I chuckle, and I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I said, you know, here's the thing. Before people say that they didn't have time to be able to work out and eat right and cook.
Right.
Now they have all the time in the world, yet they still can't do it.
That's true.
So at what point are you really going to just, you know, I don't want to use profanity, but my father used to say SHIT or get off the pot. And it's just like, you can only, like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you waiting for? Like, you can only come up with so many excuses. Like, now's the best time to eat right. Now's the best time to go on many more walks, to get training, to work out and do things in your own house. I mean, here's the best opportunity, yet alcohol sales increased 55%. It's pretty, you know, crazy on how that is, but that's how society is. And I tell people all the time, I said, take advantage of that. Take advantage of that other percentage, because that's going to put you in a different element when it comes out.
I totally agree with you. And I want to add something to it. Do exactly what you're saying. Use this time to start working out, to start working on your business. I mean, you got time now, all that stuff you said. But here's one more. I'm going to take it one more. Turn off the daggone news. The news is paralyzing. It's the news is specifically, the purpose of the news is specifically to create anxiety and paralyze you with fear. And then the commercials come on, they're selling you antidepressant and life insurance. Yeah. I mean, it's specifically for that. And if you watch the news, that's the way you're going to feel, and helpless. And you're going to eat too much, and you're going to not work on your business. Man, control what you can control, and don't worry about what you can't control. And the thing you can't control, and the things you can control, like you said, come into the office early and say, all right, what is it that I can do to improve my business? What is it I can do to improve my health? What is it I can do to improve, you know, my relationship with my kids or whatever, you know, that sort of thing. But anyway, I'm preaching and it's your interview. Sorry, but you get me excited.
No, I love it. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's being around like-minded people. I tell people all the time, imagine if you had that, if you were around like high-level people as soon as you woke up to once you go to bed. You got to believe your business, and you do that 5 days in a row, your business will be far greater than it will be watching the news or people who are lazy, people who don't come up with excuses. And once and we talk about it on our team all the time, when you collaborate and you do that, like one of the guys, like I was saying, Mike Castor, like him and I, we talk like every day. Kevin and I talk all the time. We're constantly like role playing and pushing ourselves. And then when something successful happens, we call each other up and say, hey, you won't believe what just took place. You won't believe what just happened. Like that's exactly how the script went. And it just, that's why people like being on a winning team. Like they'll take pay cuts to be winning. Winning is an emotion. Winning, like you can't buy winning. Like they claim that you can, but when you buy winning, then you're buying emotions and egos, and then you have to spend more money on a really good coach to be able to balance those egos. Yeah. And so, if you have people who just want to win, it's pretty amazing in what gets done, what gets accomplished. And when you're in that environment, there is no ceiling.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to add something else too. I know when, people get on Facebook and you got to do this. And Gary Vee, like I'm a big Gary Vee fan, and, he's on it. And I get it, like, man, some of us just aren't wired like that, and nothing against like people who get on there and put all their accomplishments on the, let me say this. I know you and I know me, I've been at the bottom. I mean, I've been overweight. I've been broke. I grew up in a trailer park. I mean, it's not like, hey man, I woke up and, I've had my ass kicked a lot. And I know what that feels like. And that's part of what kind of drives me is I know what that feels like. And it's kind of, and I know it sounds like I'm getting on my soapbox, but my kids play sports and stuff. And they wound up doing pretty well, but early on, I remember, one of my daughter's games, they just got crushed. I mean, they got the crap beat out of them. And I mean, we were silent back to the car. So you see how that feels? Yeah. It sucks, doesn't it? You remember that because, and I know I sound like not dad of the year here, but I'm like, you put that in your memory when you start practicing and you start going and say, you remember what it was like to be embarrassed and to be humiliated. And that will drive you. I mean, and that's, like I grew up in trailer. I'm sorry. I'm getting this is your interview. But I guess my point is, I know a lot of people here, the people like gung ho and and like, well, they're just wired that way, or they're just born that way. No, they've probably had their butt kicked and been humiliated and been on the bottom and made a decision that I'm not going there anymore. Yeah. And I'm not going to let that happen again. You know what I mean?
It is so true. I mean, I've had, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I'm not even tell you, I've had my car repossessed. I didn't have money to pay my electricity. And when you look at your bank accounts and it says a dash in front of a number, and you go through that and you're trying to buy diapers and you're trying to figure out where you're going to go and you don't know. And it's just like lack of sleep. And, it does something to you, but I think you need to get to that in order to understand that, I will never get to that point again. You don't know what it's like. If you can't experience it, then sometimes you just kind of like, well, like it's easy to come up with an excuse. And so I think in those moments is when you grow the most. And then you just like anything, you got to celebrate the good times and, be respectful in the time periods or be humble at the same token when it elevates and takes shape. So.
Absolutely, brother. And I love.
Hello, I'm Bill Gallagher with Superior School of Real Estate, and I'm here with Preston Sandlin of Home Inspection Carolina. Preston, I've always liked your style, especially those pants, and also I've been interested in the home inspection business for a long time.
Well, Bill, that's ironic. I've always admired your style, and I've always admired your ability to educate these fine folks for sometimes 4-8 hours a day. I wish that I could do what you do.
Hey Preston, wouldn't it be cool if we switched? Preston, We sure got what we wished for, buddy.
We sure did. And now that you're the expert, Bill, I mean, you are wearing the pants. And I'm the instructor and the educator. Tell us what Home Inspection Carolina is doing these days to make the home buying process easier for realtors and home buyers.
Well, Preston, all our home inspection reports now are online for the real estate agent and the client to review the report online and to be able to create a repair list basically online by either clicking repair, accept, monetary compensation, and once they prepare the request, they can then press email, text, or print right then.
You mean it's all automated, Bill?
Absolutely, we are high tech.
Wow. What else is Home Inspection Carolina doing different these days?
Well, Preston, we're training our home inspectors to be non-alarmist. We are training them to put things into perspective and to simplify the message for the hopeful homeowner.
Non-alarmist is key, Bill. You remember those days of the 100-page reports and those 3-ring binders that would just go on and on and on, la 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 la. Thank you for being a good non-alarmist.
And Preston, one more thing. We fix the small stuff for free. Do you remember when home inspectors always put those little nitpicky items on those reports?
Oh, bless their hearts.
Well, at Home Inspection Carolina, if we can fix it in 5 minutes or less, we do it for free. We're better with a caulk gun than a keyboard any day. We just fix it.
You mean there's no cost for this, Bill?
Preston, it's free.
Wow.
Well, Preston, these pants really are a catch.
Well, Bill, I've enjoyed wearing the suit, but I don't think I could wear it every day because I got to fix the small stuff for free, and I don't want to ruin a good suit.
Preston, it's been a lot of fun flipping the switch.
I love hearing you talk because we have a lot of similarities. You mentioned scripts earlier, and in real estate, you know, I know a lot of our listeners are real estate agents. Scripts are really important. So I'm going to put you on the spot for a second because I've heard you. I know you're good at this. I'm a Fizbo, and I have a house. Let's say I've been trying to sell it for $250, and it's about to expire, expired listing Fizbo, whatever. I know those are. Pretend like you're calling me. If it's not too much putting you on the spot.
Yeah, no, you're fine. The guys in the office are like, I want to do it. I want to do it. And
all right, call me up.
We do it every day. Just to let you know, we do it every day, 5 days a week. And I pretty much role play probably about 20 times a week. So as a Fizbo, I'll give you my Fizbo script. All right, you ready, Preston? Ring, ring.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. My name is Zevan on behalf of Compass Real Estate Group and EXP. How you doing today?
I'm good. Are you a realtor? They've been calling me all day.
Yeah, no, that is actually, I am one of those people that are calling you. I wanted to ask you a couple questions if you have a second.
All right, but man, you guys have been bugging me.
Did you know that there's 15,000 real estate agents? How many have called you?
Probably about 8.
8. So I gotta think your numbers are pretty good considering there's only 8 people who are also calling you. So let me ask you this. I was looking at my for sale by owners, my report that comes up every day, and I was comparing it to my MLS, and I didn't see your property on the MLS. I didn't know if your property was still available.
Yeah. I mean, we're thinking about, so we didn't have we had one person interested and they were going to buy, but then turns out they didn't have the money, and it just seemed to be a big old hassle. So I don't know. We're thinking about selling it, maybe taking it back off the market. I don't know. It just seems too much trouble.
You know, there's a lot involved with it. If I was able to bring you a buyer at a reasonable offer, are you willing to co-broke with me?
Yeah, but don't I have to pay you? I mean, why do I need to pay you when I could do it myself?
No, you certainly can do it yourself. I just didn't know if you were paying 3% brokerage fee, not the 6%, 3%.
Well, if I sold it myself, I wasn't, I wasn't planning on paying anything, but it is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
So are you willing to do 3% if I brought you a full asking price?
Maybe. I'd certainly entertain it. Okay. I mean, I'd like to, I'd have to see more of what you're going to do. I mean, I haven't actually met you yet.
Sure.
You just called me on the phone.
Yep, no, that makes perfect sense. Now, based off of your commission and what you told me here, your net number is very important to you, it sounds like. Is that fair to say?
Yes. I'm asking 250.
Okay. And if I was able to net you that same dollar amount using our full services, would that interest you?
Oh, sure, absolutely. That's
Okay.
that's what we wanted. Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Well, listen, I'm going to actually be in your area tomorrow at 2:00. I also have another appointment that I'm going to be there. It's like Tuesday at 6. Which day works best for you, for me to come by, take a look at your property, and show you how we can net you those numbers?
Well, during this coronavirus, you don't have it, do you?
No, I do not. I'm very healthy. Do you have it?
Not that I know of. We've been
Okay.
staying at home. Yeah, we're going to be here tomorrow all day.
Okay. Now, is it just you selling your house, or is there anybody else involved?
Just me and my wife,
You and your wife, and what's your wife's name?
Meg.
Meg, and will she be there at the time period?
What time? I mean, pretty much, but I'll make sure she might be taking the kids somewhere. So what time did you say?
I think we said tomorrow around 4.
Okay. Yeah, well, we can make that happen.
Okay. Now, Preston, do you have a good email address so I can send you just some information about myself? Because you haven't met me and you just talked to me on the phone. I want to just send you some information about my team so you know a little bit about me. I'm not going to bombard you with emails, but I just want to share with you A, about my team, and B, your seller net sheet, because you did say your net number is very important to you, correct?
That is correct. Yes.
What's a good email address, Preston?
hicarolina1@gmail.com.
Awesome. And would Meg like to be involved in these emails?
Oh, absolutely. It goes to her. Yeah, she's pretty much more organized than me.
Now, this number I called you on, Preston, is this a good a number I can text you at?
Sure.
Okay, great. I'm just going to text you over my digital business card as well, so you can take a look at, and look at myself, my information. It has my contact information. Very easy. You can click on it. And if you have any other questions in the meantime, feel free to text me or you can call me directly.
Okay. Sounds
right.
good. So can I just tell, if more agents call me, I should just tell them that I'm got an appointment with somebody else, or?
No, you can interview as many people as you want. Most of the time right now we're interviewing about 2 or 3 people. Obviously I prefer you not and just meet with me, but I love competition, and I feel that our marketing strategies and what we do is going to stand out. I've been doing this for 12 years, so I feel pretty confident in what we can do and sell your house and get you in the right direction. And we're going to talk about your next phase and where you want to move to and what that all looks like and your time period. So there'll be a lot of things that we'll discuss and go over. And I'll circle back around with you and just to lock everything in for tomorrow.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow around 4:00 then. I'll look for your email.
Okay. And Preston, real quick here, do you have any other questions or anything else that you got?
Not right this second, but I'll probably have some by 4:00 tomorrow. I'll probably have a few.
Perfect. Just write those questions down so then that way I'm prepared for them. And that way we can make it very efficient and quick for you to be able to get all your information you need to make the educated decision for us to list your home.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Thank you, Preston. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Brock.
Bye.
That's good, man. That was good. I was trying to think of as many curves as I could throw. I'm sure you've heard many. That was good. That was very good.
I pretty much see all the curves that pretty much
all the objections.
The latest one is when they do say that, like, either a family member or themselves, they are sick, they are not healthy, they're dealing with medical health issues. Those I don't have objections.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, just a couple more things, Brock, and because I know you've given us your time here, and you've got a lot to do, and you got new listings, which is exciting. What is the funniest story, real estate story, that you or somebody on your team and that's G-rated? If somebody asks you, for your funniest real estate story that you've seen or witnessed, or one of your folks, what would it be?
Funniest real estate story.
Or funniest thing that happened, or funniest thing you saw, or I can circle back to it if.
I'm trying. We do see a lot of. I mean, crazy is some of the stuff that we've typically seen. I kind of chuckle a lot at your craziness of what you see for home inspections and what that looks like. I mean, the craziest thing typically usually for us is when we go and we tell them we're going to have pictures taken and we go to their house and literally their house is a freaking debacle. I mean, it's like, I think they made it more of a mess than anything. And they just look at it and like, no, I think we did a good job cleaning. I've learned in my time period that I have to preview before I take pictures instead of having the photographer show up because it ends up being more expensive because I got to pay for a trip fee. So that's typically some of the crazy stuff that I see. There's always, you know, I don't know, funniness. God, usually it's not too. It's funny.
I'll tell you one. Somebody told me you're my third interview on the podcast. Somebody said that one of the real estate agents went straight from the gym to show or preview the house or let people something, whatever, but changed from their workout clothes to their on the porch. And there was one of those ring door.
Oh, wow.
I was like, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
It was more funny than anything. I mean, it wasn't too bad or anything.
Yeah, those rings, you got to be careful with anymore in the audio recording and everything you got going on. But yeah, that'd be pretty funny to see that.
Yeah, you know, my daughter is starting to work for. She started today. She's out DoorDash or something like that. She's delivered. She's got some friends doing it, and they're making like $20, $30, $40 an hour. But you know, not that my daughter. I was telling her though. You know, when you go on the porch, I mean, they just leave it, you know.
Yeah.
Just be careful. You're probably being filmed. So, I mean, be a Boy Scout. I mean, she would be anyway. But.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you ready for the lightning round?
Oh, boy. All right.
All right. Get into the lightning round. The first is you got to see if you can finish this song. If you can finish the song or the next line, the next line, and if you know the name of the person, it's 2 points. All right, here we go. This is old school. I'll give you a hint.
I was going to say,
a long time ago. All right, hang on. All right, finish.
Physical. Let's get physical. I don't know anything else outside of that, but
that's me. That's
is
me.
that Cindy Lauper?
No. I'll give you another hint. See if you get it. Was in Greece.
Oh God.
She's actually Australian, but my wife's favorite movie. Olivia Newton. Olivia Newton-John. Yeah. And obviously, you know why I chose that song for you, because you were a PE teacher.
Yes.
But I couldn't play the whole song. I started playing it, and I'm like, they're talking about something nefarious here. And I was just talking about PE. That's it. That's it. Let's get physical. I actually went on your thing. I was trying to get a song that's, you know, somewhat. All right, this game called This or That. So I'm going to give you two things, and you tell me which one you choose to get to know you a little bit. This first question, you're not as old as me, so I don't know if you'll get Ginger or Marianne.
Ginger or Marianne?
Yeah. Did you ever watch Gilligan's Island?
No. I grew up on a farm, so we only had like 4 channels. I'm the oldest of 5, so my mom told me I always had to go outside. So I didn't watch a lot of movies or watch a lot of TV. So I'm trying to play catch up, it seems like, with the coronavirus.
All right. Dog or cat?
Cat.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
Phone call or text?
Text.
Cardio or weights?
Weights.
iOS or Android?
Android.
Me too. I'm the only one in my family, though.
Me too. I can't stand the other one.
Yeah, they just don't play well. They're very they want to keep their world. Football or basketball?
Football.
What's worse, laundry or dishes?
I hate folding laundry.
So you go laundry would be worse. Jogging or hiking?
What I like or what I dislike?
What do you like?
Hiking.
Tennis shoes or flip-flops?
Tennis shoes.
Online shopping or shopping in a store?
Shopping in a store. It's funny. I just talked about that the other day.
Yeah, I hope everybody goes back to it. And
Yeah.
don't get me started on one of the largest online retailers also owns a media outlet, and it dawned on me that if they keep pushing this, their business increases and the mom and pop. But anyway, I won't get on. Go shopping after this is over, and especially go to the mom and pops and local ones.
Yes. Support your locals.
Car, truck,
Car,
blue or red,
blue,
money or free time. That's a tough
free
one.
time.
Free time, me too. But money gives you free. But anyway, I won't. Just a couple more. Amusement park or day at the beach?
Day at the beach.
All right, just a couple more here. Designed to get you to know you. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Mac or PC?
PC.
Sweater or hoodie?
Hoodie.
Sleeping with the fan. I mean, fan on or off?
Oh, on.
On. And the most important, this or that, toilet paper. Do you have it coming down this way or underneath? Is it over or under?
I just make sure I have some, but I would say over.
Yeah, some people are like, man, I've even seen home inspectors like, I'm changing that. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, I know. There's some crazy people on toilet paper.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Mike's one of them.
Tell us something that not too many people know about you, or do you have any weird talents or anything? Like I can tell, one of my weird talents is I can tell you every make and model of car before 1970 because my dad was a car guy. I'm not, but he drilled me and like the car, I can tell you the year and model, but I can't monetize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have some skill are you good at something that doesn't make money? That should be the question.
Because of my size and where I started when I was very young, a lot of people don't know about this, is I used to milk cows on the dairy.
Oh, wow.
And so I used to have to, this is going to get really gross, but I used to have to help out when the cow when the baby was breached. That's right.
Oh.
I would have to go in, stick my hand in.
Okay, I got that image.
I told you that's something strange that not too many people can say that they did, and I've done that. And I had to tie a rope around it, and you have to pull the calf out.
Yeah, I visited when I was in Kentucky. My wife's people are from Kentucky, and we visited the farm where the horses breed and whatnot. Yeah, they were telling us it could definitely make one of those micro jobs. You think your job's bad?
Yeah. I like that show, Dirtiest Jobs. You ever watch it?
Yeah.
I like that show.
Exactly. Well, Brock, thank you for sharing all your stuff, man. You're awesome. Man, your script's tight too, man. It's good. It's good.
Well,
where could someone go to learn more about you, or if they're interested in training with you? I know. Tell us what all you do. You offer some coaching too, don't you? Or
Yep. So we do. I do actually do role playing coaching. I do one-on-one coaching, and we do team coaching. I'm getting ready to start a little group coaching just because there's more and more people out there who financially are in a position that, it just financially makes more sense, and sometimes things are easier in a group setting. Obviously, you can go to my Facebook page. You can check me out there, Brock Zevan. You can check out Brock Zevan EXP. I'm actually coming out with a whole new mycompassrealestate.com is having I'm putting together basically an online resume that will give you everything that you need to be able to see what we do. We are actually getting ready to break out and hire for the team. So that's I'm excited, really excited. This is where I really enjoy is hiring people and putting them through what I call training camp. And so we have a 4-week training camp that we go through and parts of our team help out. And so really excited about that, but call me, text me, whatever. There's so many different ways, but Facebook's the easiest that I have a lot of people engage with.
So Brock, Zevan, I still brutalize it on Facebook or Compass Real Estate or they do a search, and so they can email you through that or text you through that.
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome.
If you just put in my name, it pretty much all pops up. That's why I always gotta be careful. I tell people, I said, when we start, I say, Google your name, start to understand what people are seeing, know what your audience is looking at, clean out anything that you don't want people to see, and focus on things that you want people to see, because that's what they're going to do to you, is they're going to Google you and find out about your reviews, find out about anything that's attached to you. So, start using the garden rake and start cleaning out and see what you can do.
Awesome. Let me add something to that too. Put a Google alert on your name. Go into Google and where it says more and it's like alerts, and put your first and last name with quotation marks. Because if you don't put the quotation, every Brock and every Zevan, but put the quotation. And if in the future, if that comes up online, somebody says something, you'll be alerted and you can go right to it and, figure out, hopefully they're saying something good.
Yeah, hopefully.
Awesome. Well, Brock, thank you so much for your time. I know the listeners appreciate it. And you guys go give this guy some likes on his you got a Facebook business page too, right?
I do. Yep. You got Brock Zevan business. You got Compass Real Estate Group business. So then you got my personal page as well. So I appreciate you, Preston. It's like I told you before, it's great having like-minded people, high-quality people in your life, and your business is proving that, your success, and where you've come as well. So hats off to you and what you've done, and I appreciate you reaching out to me and giving me this opportunity.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Brock. And guys, go to Compass Real Estate or Brock Zevan and get a guy some likes, give him a little bit of value. And if you see him out somewhere when this coronavirus is over and you got something out of this, buy him a beer.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Brock. We'll catch you on the flip side.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much, Preston.
You've been listening to the Successful Real Estate Broker Podcast with your host, Preston Sandlin. Join us on the next episode where we'll be talking to a successful agent or vendor about the right things to do and the wrong things you should avoid. Join us on the next episode of the Successful Real Estate Broker Podcast.